Ruben Amorim has been speaking for the first time since emerging as the favourite to take over from Erik ten Hag at Manchester United. And he said everything will be clear in a few days' time.
Yeah, Manchester United remain in advanced negotiations for the sporting manager. We can cross live now to Lisbon and join our reporter Gary Cottrell, who's there for us. Gary, great to see you this morning. We know now you were in that news conference last night. What was the feeling you got? Does this move look to be heading towards a conclusion?
Yeah, routine, straightforward, no issues, victory for Sporting over Nacional in the Portuguese League Cup last night. Will it be a routine, no issues, straightforward move for Amorim to Old Trafford? That's the question. It seems like potentially it will be, but the man himself not giving too much away. It was interesting to see Sporting in action. It was an impressive victory. The opposition, to be frank, not the best in the world. And it was interesting to see Amorim in action as well, away from the pitch, dealing with the media, dealing with the spotlight, because that is a big part, isn't it, of being the Manchester United manager, taking questions in good times, in bad times, light questions, heavy questions, and he handled it with panache. He was asked at least a dozen times by the Portuguese media about Manchester United. He said time and time again in Portuguese, he hasn't decided yet. There's nothing concrete. When there is, he'll say so. He was asked whether that was his farewell match. He said he didn't know. He did agree, though, that the decision was his and his alone, because Manchester United and Sporting have agreed that €10 million, £8.3 million compensation. This was our exchange last night.
I wanted to ask you about your tactics tonight. No, not really. I've heard the words Manchester United mentioned quite a few times this press conference. Could you sum up where we are with the Manchester United move?
We have to wait a little bit more to explain everything I need to explain, and then it will be very clear.
But the club, obviously, they have to, if an approach is made for their head coach, because of the rules, have said that approach has been made and the compensation fee has been agreed. So it's now your decision, I guess.
Yes, that's what I said. It's my decision. I will tell everything. So we have to wait. That's it.
How long?
I don't know.
Will you be in the dugout at Old Trafford on Sunday?
I will be here.
Definitely.
I don't know.
Well, there you go, a little nod to his move happening to Manchester United at the end there. Nothing if not honest. The mood music, the glint in the eye, seems to me like this deal is going to happen. It's just a case of when. And two more things to point out. First of all, he didn't wave to the crowd last night. It wasn't a full stadium. He headed straight down to the dressing rooms. There is a game on Friday in the league where the stadium will be much fuller, so maybe agreement could be reached with Manchester United, but he stays for that game to say a proper goodbye, and then maybe potentially in the dugout or in the stadium at Old Trafford on Sunday. And he did say, part of his Portuguese answers, that he will be taking Sporting training today.
Gary, very, very interesting. Great work, mate. Speak to you soon. Could Amorim be about to join Pep Guardiola in Manchester?
Well, Guardiola has faced Amorim in the Champions League and was impressed by the Sporting manager.
All I can talk is about the experience. I played twice against Ruben Sport Lisboa team, 1 or 2 seasons ago, and the impression was really, really good. I spoke with Mateus Nunes, that it was his player, and I spoke highly about him. And look, this season is unbeaten or winning all the games in the Portuguese League and the Champions League, the same points with us, so highly manager. So I had the feeling that if Man United, what I hear that is thinking about him is because he's a good manager. So Man United, no point manager at that level. So all the managers I have in the 5, 6, 7 years, we cannot say they are not able to lead Man United. So what's going to happen, I don't know.
As we said earlier, Jamie is with us all of today's show. Jamie, how are the papers reflecting this huge story then?
Yeah, well, we've just heard from Pep Guardiola, who is clearly an admirer of Ruben Amorim, and that's what the Star go with. PS I love Rue. He's going to be a headline writer's dream. I imagine he's going to get a lot of Rue over the coming years. So Pep clearly impressed by the work that Amorim has done at Sporting. The Daily Mail, there's actually a sidebar in the Daily Mail related to Manchester saying, well, we didn't want him anyway. This is Manchester City. But they also talk about the fact that it's a race against time for United to get him in the dugout for that game against Chelsea at Old Trafford on Sunday. In fact, their next 3 games are all at Old Trafford, and they're saying that it might be their game after that against Ipswich after the international break on November the 24th. That is the first game he's in charge for, because Sporting want Amorim to serve sort of some notice. And Spurs fans might remember they have a bit of previous in this category as well.
How have you brought Spurs into this?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because when Spurs were trying to sign Pedro Porro, Sporting said the same thing. Oh, well, we just wanted to play in a Portuguese Cup final this weekend and then you can have him. So there's sort of a bit of previous there. And in the Telegraph, they say all systems are go, and that's their lead. They expect Manchester United delegation to head to Lisbon today. So you're thinking that the likes of perhaps Sir Dave Brailsford and Jason Wilcox and those sort of guys heading out to Lisbon to finally get this deal done. But clearly it looks as if it's not a matter of when rather than if now. And when the guys spoke about it in back pages last night, this is what they had to say.
Big question now is when. And obviously a lot of people are wondering if he will be in Manchester in time to be in the dugout for the game against Chelsea on Sunday. I was speaking to somebody in Portugal before, and they said there is still an expectation at Sporting that it will actually take the league game on Friday evening, which slightly surprised me before any deal is finally agreed. But I think we'll find out very soon in the next 24 hours.
I think he's a great hire. I think he's, for the first time since Alex Ferguson left, United have got a coach at the right time on the way up. I think all of the other coaches they've hired have either been reactive or played people that they didn't really want. I mean, David Moyes was like 6th choice. Louis van Gaal was out of the club game for 4 years. Jose Mourinho was a reaction to Pep Guardiola at Man City. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a mistake. And Erik ten Hag was the cheap option, basically. He was cheaper than Mauricio Pochettino. So, but Ruben Amorim is a guy that a lot of clubs want.
Well, it's been a bit of a horror show for United this season. Tonight they face Leicester in the Carabao Cup. With Halloween fast approaching, we have a wicked Wednesday evening of football with all 6 ties live across Sky Sports and Sky Sports Plus. We'll look ahead to those in around 15 minutes' time. And could Amorim be in charge for United's next Premier League match? I mean, as a Chelsea fan, I really hope not. But it is against Chelsea on Super Sunday. See it from 4 p.m.